Hello, you've just entered the witch's lair. I'm Raven Lavina, and it means so much to me that you've stopped by. So please, make yourself comfortable, and let's just get right to it. I'm so sick to my stomach right now. I don't even know how to type this or where to start. Okay, after we got the second note yesterday, shit hit the fan. Carrie immediately called Kyle's school and told the principal about both notes and how the second one threatened Kyle's friends. The principal immediately sent out an email to the school listserv with the details, letting parents know the school was probably the safest place to be, but they were welcome to pick up their kids if they wanted to. All of the classes are pretty small, so each teacher was also instructed to call their students, parents, personally. We got the email about 15 minutes later, but decided to leave Kyle at school, at least for now. Our security system was installed yesterday, but the school still feels safest at this point. It also gives Kyle some kind of normalcy. I talked to him yesterday about what was happening, and he seems to grasp how serious it is. The first thing he said was, "I'm sorry," and started crying like this was somehow his fault. I know just how you feel, buddy. Kyle feels guilty for giving us the note, and we feel guilty for somehow setting off this psychopath. I guess that's what this sicko wanted, though. Well, he succeeded. Pretty fucked up. I called my boss and I was given yesterday and today off work. I tested out the security system and I made sure all the windows and doors were secure. I also called as many neighbors as possible to let them know what was going on. It's weird having to tell your across the street neighbor, who's nearing 90, there may be a serial killer / pedophile on the loose and to keep her doors and windows locked. She couldn't hear me very well, but I hope she got the picture. Same deal with the woman a couple doors down, who has 2 kids in middle school herself. I saw her as she was walking her dog and she freaked out right there on the spot. Pulled out her cell phone and just started dialing her husband frantically. Then I got the call from Detective Carr. They'd gotten the search warrant and executed it on 3 Orange Circle. Remember, this house is 1 street over, less than a quarter mile from our house. If I had stood on my roof, I could have possibly watched them go in. I let out a large sigh of relief when he said no one was living there. It was good to know this person wasn't hunkered down in our neighborhood watching us. The detective said he did find some evidence, although he refused to tell me what it was. He said it could compromise the case. This leads me to believe that serial killer / pedophile used the house for something. Maybe he took his victims there. There was a basement, too, with a thin concrete floor which looked newer than it should, he said. He believes that if Suzanne Carrington is dead, she might be buried in the basement. They're going to dig it up starting tomorrow or the next day. Oh, also, Detective Carr found Suzanne's missing parsing file. There's not much there, but the detective that worked her case still lives here. He's retired, but he's willing to talk. Detective Carr wants to find out if there's anything he saw or heard back in '95 that could help. Something he may not have included in the file because he didn't think it was important. Right now, it's the only lead they have. I think they're supposed to talk today. Okay. I've been putting this last part off, but I have to tell everything. My hands are shaking as I type this. I woke up this morning and I went to get the paper immediately, hoping there'd be an article warning everyone about this psychopath. At least then I could rest a little easier knowing most people in town would be prepared. Instead, I read this. Police on the hunt for child's kidnapper. Oh God. Everything suddenly became real. I think somewhere deep down I hoped serial killer / pedophile would just be deranged individual who wouldn't really act out his threats. But when I read the headline, that all came crashing down. I skimmed through until I found the boy's name. He wasn't a close friend of Kyle's, but I knew who he was. He's on Kyle's t-ball team. I know his parents. His parents pulled him out of school yesterday after the email went out. Jesus. How terrible they must feel. I hurt so badly for them right now, and I don't even want to talk about Carrie. She's beside herself. Even though it's not our son that was taken, this is our worst nightmare. No one deserves this. Of course, there was another note, sent to the paper this time, so the entire town could read it. Since then, I've heard the police chief is furious at them for printing what basically amounts to a piece of evidence. The editor of our paper would never miss a chance like this, but it may cost him his job. They decided to redact the names, but I knew they were ours, and so would everyone else in a small town like this. Everyone knows. The note in the paper reads as follows. X and X, greetings. I see you. You don't see me. And now all the others do too. The masks on your faces are broken in places, and the darkness is now shining through. What darkness, you say? Oh, X, you know. The past is a fickle old hag. She sneaks up in silence and dishes out violence, wipes the knife on her sleeve like a brag. You couldn't just follow instructions. You pushed me to do this, you know. And now it's your fault as I open the vault and let all of your dark secrets go. But first, I've got a new toy, and new things always make me grin. I'll wind him up tight when today turns to night, and that's when the fun will begin. Unless, yes, unless you'd rather me not have my fun, I'd consider returning young Andrew, who's yearning to break free from his chains and to run. But first, it's truth time. X, 10 years ago, and I think you know just where I'm going. Remember your ass, pressed right up to the glass, and the man in the car you were blowing. Ta-ta for now. I hear the ice cream man outside, so I must be letting you go. I just sat there, shocked. He's not only trying to scare us, he's trying to ruin our lives. I called Carrie immediately, shaking, and asked her what in God's name he could be talking about. Had she ever cheated on me? She denied everything, of course. She's at work today, but I'm going to have a talk with her when she gets home. I wonder if there's something she isn't telling me, or if this lunatic is just making shit up to hurt us. I can't think about that right now. I just want to find Andrew, and I'm hoping Detective Carr can get in touch with that old detective today. He may be Andrew's only hope. Hey guys, so I know I promised I would get you parts 3 and 4 today. Unfortunately, work came up and time constraints, and I wasn't able to follow through. I appreciate your understanding. If you've stuck with me this long, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I promise to get you out parts 4, 5, and possibly 6 tomorrow. Once again, you are now free to leave the witch's lair.